Today we're going to be learning about lists. We're also going to make a second web page. My web page is going to be about movies. I suggest that you can make your web pages about any topic that you enjoy that is school appropriate. I do suggest that each web page has its own topic. That will make it a little bit easier when you are figuring out the organization of your entire website. So I have copied those same basic tags from my other web page, and I've added in a little bit of content about movies. And now it's time to save our work. So I'm going to save it in the same file where my index page is. So let's find that page. Here it is, KVictor. And it's going to be in the same file with index. Give it a title that is meaningful to the topic of the page. Since mine is movies, I'm going to call it movies.html. Again, don't forget about the extension HTML or HTML, so the computer knows to treat your file like it is a website, and be sure it is in the correct folder. Yes, we really do want to use that extension. Okay, now that we have a second web page with its own title and its own topic, let's view that page. So let's come back to our browser. Let's open a file. By the way, you're welcome to use the shortcut. And as we go between these things, often you may want to start using and learning shortcuts. You'll find that very easy. All right. Now you can see that it grouped everything together into a giant paragraph. That's not always what we want. So in my text, I have a couple items here I'm going to turn into lists. First of all, I want to separate them away from the rest of the paragraphs. So I'm going to add in a P tag, which is paragraph. Matter of fact, our paragraph starts up here and it ends down here. So we'll add in some P tags and let's save that and let's refresh and see what that does. And right away you can see it separates that out a little bit. Maybe I want another one here. So we'll start a new paragraph here. We'll end the paragraph here. So we can get a little bit of spacing in between. If you notice the P tag, it looks like you hit the return key twice. It gave you some space between the paragraphs. Sometimes you don't want that much space, in which case the BR tag will work pretty well. So if I want to start this on a new line, the tag is BR. Notice that there's a slash here at the end. That's because this is not an open or a closed tag. It's actually both an open and a closed tag rolled into one. So we're going to save that. And when we refresh it, you can see it moved that down just one line rather than the normal appearance of two. All right, so that is the P tag and the BR tags. Now let's take a look at the lists. I think you're going to like these. There are two kinds of lists. There's ordered lists and unordered lists. So here is going to be my first list, my personal preference for the MCU movies that I think are best. And we have a title at the top of the list, so I'm going to give that a headline tag. Now, I don't want it to be as big as the word movies, so instead of giving it the H2 tag like I did here, I'm going to give it a smaller title. I'm going to give it the H3 tag, which is smaller than H2. All right, so that will give us a title at the top of our list. And for each one of these lists, let's identify the kind of list it is. So this is going to be my ordered list. OL stands for ordered list. And this says this is where my ordered list begins. And let's stop the ordered list here after Spider-Man Homecoming. So that'll be a /OL or a close ordered list tag. That says everything between this tag and this tag is my ordered list. Now to let it know what the items are, we're going to have list item tags around these. So for each one of these, I'm going to put an LI tag before it, that stands for list item, and a close LI tag after it. So once again, before LI, after it, close LI. If you are a slow typist, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of copy and paste. So if we wanted to do that, we could do some copy, and we can paste and paste and paste. There's nothing wrong with copying and pasting code, so you don't have to retype. I definitely recommend making your life easy as opposed to hard. Work smart instead of hard, they say. All right, so we now have our ordered list. Ends here, starts here, and each one of these LIs is going to define a list item. So let's save that, and let's see what that does. Okay, so there's my ordered list. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's what an ordered list looks like. Similarly, we're going to do an unordered list for the Pixar movies. Again, we have a title at the top. Let's also do the H3 headline there. You can see that was a little bit smaller than the H2, not a lot. But this time, this is going to be an unordered list. So instead of the OL, we're going to do UL, unordered list. And for each item, we're going to have, again, the same LI tags. And let's do these before each item. You can have as few or as many items in your list as you want. You'll see I have 6 in one of my lists and 5 in another. There's nothing that says it needs to be that many or that few. You can have really long lists. You can have really short lists. That is really up to you, and it depends on what the content is on the page. Now I should probably just copy and paste. That would be a little bit easier, wouldn't it? Copy that, paste it, paste it. Okay, so now we have our unordered list. We'll save and we'll refresh. Excellent. All right, now I would like to introduce the idea of attributes. That is something we can add into a tag that will change the way the tag works or how it functions. So let's do that right now for our ordered list. In the OL tag, we're going to put the cursor in between the L and the close angle bracket and type a space. We're going to add in the attribute type equals. And that will affect the type of ordered list we have. And in double quotes, we're going to go ahead and put the type we want it to be. So right now we have Arabic numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to change it to capital letters by typing a capital A under my type equals. So let's save that difference there that this attribute with this value is going to make. And then we'll come over and we'll refresh, and you'll see that it changed from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to A, B, C, D, E, F. So we can change the appearance of these by adding something called an attribute. By the way, there are a number of values we could have put. I put a capital A. I could have put a lowercase a. And that would have changed it to lowercase letters. I could have put a capital letter I. And that, as you might be able to predict, would change it to Roman numerals. And you can even do it lowercase Roman numerals if you like. Do a lowercase I there and save and refresh. So there are a variety of different types of ordered lists that you could do. Similarly, there's a variety of types of unordered list. So we're going to similarly go into the UL tag, the open tag. This is not done in the close tag. We're going to do type equals. And for this one, we're going to type the word square. Square. We'll save that and we'll refresh. And that may be hard to see because these are pretty tiny. Let's see if I can zoom in there for you. Change these to little square icons rather than the old one that was, I believe, the disk. So if we save the disk and we refresh, they change back to the normal bullet you're familiar with. I believe the other one that you can do for unordered list is circle. And we can save that and refresh. So there are some items here with our lists, and we can actually change our functionality by adding attributes with values. And that is lists in HTML.